Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well, as always, and welcome back to Chelsea News. We've learned some stuff. Chile said goodbye. Andrey Santos turned down a salary worth 5 times his current Chelsea earnings. Did we lie to Facundo Buonanotte? Because he's not in the Champions League squad. And what are we going to do with Raheem the Dream? Or should I say, the Nightmare?
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
I love this new mic cover, man. It doesn't make me feel like a Chelsea correspondent. Maybe we need to bring back the Stamford Bridge studio. Here in the studio, I'm hearing now, Raheem Sterling is in the bomb squad. We've heard that a long time ago. Anyway, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. And, yes, it is Chelsea news. We are in the Champions League. It's a great deal of fun, of course. We're now in the deep dark abyss. That is the international break. And me, as an England fan, I mean, I'm excited because, Rubes has been called up. Great fun. Love that. Throwback. What a player as well. Top boy. But it's been a pretty miserable experience so far under Big Tommy Took, so I'm hoping he can turn that around. But in the meantime, we're here to have fun. So, get comfortable, pour yourselves a drink. If you want to support me as a content creator, it's super simple. Like, subscribe, and down here somewhere, underneath the video, you are able to hype the video. And that helps me out, apparently. So yeah, let's get into it. And before we jump into the Champions League squad and all this silly nonsense, I will be covering England. Oh, the first game? I'm going away for a few days. Warning, on Saturday, and I will, for the first time in many, many, many years, not be uploading for like 3 or 4 days. It's the international break, guys. I haven't been on a holiday in like a decade, literally. Wait, is that true? No, that's not true. Like 6 years or so. I've definitely been in the last decade, in maybe like 5 or 6 years. Anyway, I need some time off. My brain's melting. But there will be daily content until I go, and when I'm back on the second channel, Football Yannick, always, man. So do check that out. Look, let's talk about the Champions League squad then, shall we? It's been publicised by Chelsea. Of course, there's an A-list and a B-list where I believe the youths play. They were very quick to brief that Tariq George will be featuring in the Champions League squad once his move from Fulham broke down, which was nice because they knew he could just be in the B-list anyway, so it's safe to say that. But it was a briefing from Chelsea like, oh, we like him, he'll be involved, don't worry, just because he hasn't gone, like, it's all cool, we love him. But the squad, the A-list squad, yeah, so the main mandem are as follows. Goalkeepers, only the 2. It is, unsurprisingly and grimly predictably, Robert Sanchez and Philip Jorgensen. Yeah, we'll probably see both of them throughout the league phase, and perhaps a couple of the easier games, easier inverted commas, you see young Philip, see what he can do. And we're restarting the existential nightmare of Rob Sanchez in the Chelsea goal. What's going to happen? Are we going to survive? Will we make it through this? The defenders, right, so let's go through this. Registered defenders, unsurprisingly, Tosin Adarabioyo, Benoit Badiashile, which I'm actually looking forward to seeing him play again. Maresca seemingly does like Benoit, and we do need that left footer cover in the absence of Colwill. Trev Chalobah, the proper Chelsea boy in there, unsurprisingly, for the first time in maybe his Chelsea career, not being linked away from the club in a summer transfer window. Levi Colwill, despite being out for potentially the whole season. I mean, why are you being registered for the league phase if you're out for the season? Do we need to investigate this? Because you can register 2 different squads. Is he going to miraculously come back like 6 months early? What's going on there? Hold on. Right, I spent about 30 seconds looking on Twitter. It's confusing. It might be something to do with the registration UEFA rules, their financial fair play rules. Guys, I don't really understand. It's something to do with the squad you had last season and this season, new players and stuff. I guess probably that, but let's hope they're looking at him going, oh, maybe in like, for a few months he can play football. I don't know. Let's be real. He's not going to be available for a long time. That's why Maresca wanted to sign a new centre-back. But he's in there. So is Marco Correa, my boy Wes Fofana, Malo Gusto, Joel Hatto, and Reece James. Of course, no Chilwell, because he's gone to Strasbourg. Worth mentioning, he did a really lovely goodbye. I'm not going to... This Chilwell farewell tour on this channel ends here. I love the guy, an amazing contributor, a really professionally handled exodus, or exile, should I say, from the club, and a really lovely goodbye. So thank you, Chile. We move on to the midfielders. It's not actually that many. Oh, it's because of, Lavia's in the B team. Caicedo, Asugo, Fernandes, and Santos. And I suppose that's because attacking midfielders aren't really registered here. So only 4 conventional midfielders, but bearing in mind as well, he'll play Reece James in the midfield. That would make a 5th at times. And, yeah, I guess it's for those 2 roles, so 4 players. It's fine. And, of course, Lavia is in the B list. So the finally forwards are Liam Delap, who we won't see for a few weeks. Alejandro Garnacho, who got a shirt number, what was that, 41, 47, I can't remember. What shirt number? Something in the 40s. It's what he had at the Man United Academy. Fine. Mark Yu, good. Let's keep Mark Yu happy. We ripped him out. Just as he was getting his head into a Sunderland loan, we ripped him away. Look, no Conference League stuff now, mate. You are registered as a A-lister in the Champions League squad. Go do it, man. He's all recently interviewed talking about Chelsea being, great. So is Garnacho. I mean, a moment on this. Garnacho said Chelsea's the best team in the world. They're world champions. I'm sold on Garnacho now. I flip-flopped quicker than something. Like a rat up a drain pipe. I've gone from red flags, I don't really want him, to, oh, what, he's a Chelsea fan, pictured in a Chelsea kit as a kid. Hold on a minute. He loves Eden Hazard. He says we're the best team in the world. He's on his anti-Manchester United villain arc, prepared to dunk on them at any opportunity. I'm on board. Choo choo, the Garnett train. God, that was terrible. Jamie Gittins, what was I saying? Yeah, the son of this. Jamie Gittins, Gu, Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer, unsurprisingly, Joao Pedro, and Steva Williams, Steve-O as well. So then we got the B list, which only consists of 3 players. Unsurprisingly, the 2 teenage twins. They call them the twins, don't they? Tyreek George and Josh Chiampong. Josh, really highly rated. I think as the season develops, we'll see him as a really important player. Ty obviously didn't get his move to Fulham. He was disappointed, but he is in, the Champions League team. He'll play for Chelsea this season. 4 competitions, league phase, 2 extra games. He's registered. He knows what Maresca wants. Just please stop playing the kid at centre forward. Play him as a winger. I know we've got loads of wingers, but just give him time off the bench. And Romeo Lavia, who of course is a midfielder, but because I think he's a kid. Here you go. It says here, Chelsea says here, clubs are entitled to register an unlimited number of players on their B list during the season if they're born after January the 1st, 2003. I remember what I was doing in 2003. I was just being in mid-2000s, I was in a lot of trouble. To be eligible for a player B list, the squad member must be born after January 2004. Okay, well, 15th, and since 15th, and has since his 15th birthday has been eligible to play for the club. I think he's talking about Romeo Lavia there. Anyway, you've got the squad. There's your squad. Chelsea's Champions League squad. Okay, Andrey Santos. Hold on, but while we're still on this, of course, many of you have been looking at that Champions League squad and thinking, where is new signing Facundo Buonanotte? Not on the A list, not on the B list, not on any list. Sorry, mate, you can't come in. You're not on the list. As a bouncer said to me plenty of times growing up. Now, this is sad because when he was interviewed about becoming a Chelsea player, I'm really happy to be here and ready to offer as much as I can to the team and the staff. I'm sure it will be a positive season. That's a good start. The fact Terry starts this with, of course. He says, of course, I'll get the opportunity to play in the Champions League for the first time. It'll be a great challenge. I'm really looking forward to this season. Of course I'm going to be playing in the Champions League at Chelsea. Here I am. Of course it's the Champions League. Of course I'm in the Champions League. No, hold on, mate. You're the only person in the squad who's not in the Champions League squad. Ugh. All kinds of levels of awkwardness. That is horrendous scenes. That is dreadful, dreadful stuff. I gotta feel bad for the kid. I mean, look, I got nothing. Look, I know he was a bit of a across social media, and this is just social media. We signed Buonanotte, and everyone was like, wah, wah, wah. But look, I'm quite high on the squad generally. I think we'll be okay. I think it's going to be up to just the coaching, the team spirit, and injuries, of course. And see what we can do. I don't think we're going to be necessarily challenging for the title. I did do a video yesterday on the tactics of Maresca. That was kind of fun. Bit of a different piece of content. But I do think it's going to be more of a case of just taking the next step, which I do think we're ready for, and it's just development of a young team, and the youngest team in the league, continuing to develop, and we'll go from there. So, yeah, Buonanotte, I think, could be part of that in the league, in the cups. He'll start against Lincoln, maybe, if he's ready. And look, if he does really well, he'll play. Ultimately, if he's mustard, if he's the dogs so-and-sos, he will play football for Chelsea. Look at Stevao. You know, everyone's like, well, he's just turned 18. He's come from Brazil. He's never played in Europe. He's awfully small, isn't he? He doesn't speak English. Surely not. And Maresca was like, oh, I tell you what, he's different gravy granules, mate. Chat him in. And he's been cooking. So, you know, it's up to you, Buonanotte, to do it. Right. Yeah, look, this is wild. Andrey Santos, he's one of our own, turned down a move. And then he had approaches to go to Bayern Munich, or Bayern Munich really wanted to sign him. To Chelsea's credit, another fear across the Chelsea fan base. They were like, oh, they're going to sell Santos. It's going to represent a massive profit sale. It will be another Renato Vega. They'll get a massive profit. They'll put a sell-on clause. They'll feel like, well, we've got other players now, and he's not going to be a starter. There will be undeniable money. But he himself turned down 5 times his current salary. Now, to be honest, that might not be that crazy because I imagine he's got a very modest salary at Chelsea. Remember, he came as a teenager when he was very, very young. It was Pires who played for Independiente de Valle. Who did he play for? Brazilian team. And that's... Oh, hold on one second. Was it Vasco da Gama? I think anyway, whatever. I'm gonna spill the check. Yes, it was! Football knowledge from your boy. 2023. Back in January 2023. He was a young child, a young boy that couldn't actually get a visa. He was supposed to be slam dunked straight into Graham Potter's Chelsea. Graham Potter's Chelsea. What a fever dream that was. He was supposed to go straight in. I believe he couldn't get a work visa, and the fact how he captained the under-20 Brazil side to success that following summer, for some reason that affected his ability to get a visa in England, and then he joined, went to Forest, and then did 18 months at Strasbourg, and the rest is history. He's mustard, mate. Different gravy granules. But yes... So he will be on a relatively small salary, but he was offered 5 times to treble a teenager. How old is he now? 20? 21? Even he's very young still. To like treble his salary or make him go ooh, but to offer 5 times the salary is a lot of money. Is a lot of money. Apparently it was Al Qadsiya. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I apologise if I'm not. I don't mean to offend anyone. They're fourth in the Saudi Pro League. Yeah, and 60 million quid, which Chelsea would have trebled their money. He would have earned 5 times his salary. And Chelsea were like, no, we like him. He's our boy. Just as we told Bayern to do one to get out of here, we told the Saudi club, that I'm not going to try and pronounce their name again, to do one and get out of here. He wants Chelsea. He wants glory. He wants footballing glory. And look, there is this like stereotype of Brazilians taking the bag. We've seen it at our very own Chelsea. Ramirez going to, was it China? Oscar, of course, just before he was entering his prime. He openly took the bag. Diego Costa wanted to go. That's why he fell out with Conte. He wanted to go and take the Chinese bag. So there is that stereotype of these footballers coming from the favelas and, seeing football as a way to take care of their family for generations and whatever. But Santos is like, nah, man, I'm here for the game. Here for the beauty of football. And I really hope he does well for Chelsea, because what a baller. And he really could genuinely affect us really, really positively. Right, let's talk about Raheem. I was going to say Raheem Sanchez. My brain is... Maybe if he was called Raheem Sanchez, he would have got a move by now. Raheem Sterling. The Saudi window is still open, writes Kieran Gill of the Daily Mail, but no desire to move there. He has ambitions, including returning to the England squad, adding to his 82 England caps. He's 30 years old. Ruben can do it, but Ruben's playing really well for Milan, and Ruben's a year younger. He's still in his 20s. He's 29. I think Sterling's cooked. I'm sorry. I'm an England fan. He was so good for England for 18 months. He was the guy for England. He's been an amazing operator in the Premier League for long. He's an amazing career. He's an amazing player. By all accounts, he's a really great guy, and I've got no issue with him whatsoever operating how he's doing. Some Chelsea fans will be like, "Get out of my club, you're taking 320k a week." Mate, we offered you that contract. Your family's settled in London. You've got a young family. You've got kids. Those kids will go to schools around here. You're their father. You're present. You're earning a good wage that we offered to pay you. Yeah? Just in the same way as, I think Isak should have just stayed at Newcastle and honoured his contract. Chelsea need to just understand... You did this to yourselves. And this isn't a Romelu Lukaku problem that the new ownership inherited. They did this. They will regret it heavily. Of course they will. Of course they'll look at, they regretted Koulibaly. They regretted Aubameyang. Probably would have heavily regretted Nkunku because he's £52 million and he was on significant wages. But they will regret nothing more than the signing of Raheem Sterling, because he was... the first and main, appeasing acquisition for Tuchel. Before all the drama happened with Tuchel at Chelsea, of which a lot of it we're not privy to, they turned up, the owners, and they're like, right, we bought Chelsea. What are the biggest 2 assets of Chelsea? And everyone was like, well, Emma Hayes and Tommy Tukes. And they were like, right, lovely. Let's keep them all happy. They kept signing for the women's team. They went to Thomas Tuchel. Hello, Thomas. What's your preferred target? And Tuchel was obsessed with signing Raheem Sterling. He said it many times. It was his priority target. He wanted Raheem Sterling. He loved the data. He loved the consistency. He loved the play style. He loved Raheem. He got Raheem. He wanted to get rid of Lukaku, Chelsea's record signing that was also on 300k a week. The ownership probably would have liked Chelsea and Tuchel and Lukaku to make up and make it work because of how much money he was worth and how hard it is to get a striker. But Tuchel said, no, it can't work with Lukaku. I want Sterling. I'm not saying either's right or either's wrong. I'm just recapping the story, and they granted him Raheem Sterling, and here we are now. He stays till January. He trains alone. He gets paid. He makes a decision over that 6 months. I mean, he just simply won't get back in that England squad, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It won't happen. It won't happen. Even maybe it's because Tuchel, the aforementioned Tuchel, who's in love with Sterling, is, you know, he said to Chile, go find. I wouldn't be surprised if Chilwell has a really good season at Strasbourg under Rosignol in the Conference League, in Liga. If he stays around the top 5 in Liga, would not be surprised at all if Tuchel calls him up. He's already getting the band back together with Ruben. If he sees Sterling probably thinks, oh, if I play somewhere and score a bunch of goals, maybe Tuchel will call me up. I mean, if there's any manager that's going to call him up, it's the guy that currently manages England. But I still think that's highly unlikely. He needs to bare minimum, a middling Premier League club week in, week out. He needed the Jack Grealish to Everton move, yeah? Or even the Sancho to Aston Villa move. I mean, I'm not suggesting Tuchel's going to call up Sancho, but he might call up Grealish. 4 assists and 2 starts at Everton. That's what Raheem Sterling needed for himself. And of course, he hasn't got that. Oh! Well, let me know what you think. Comment down below, like and subscribe. Thanks for joining me here on the channel. And I look forward to seeing you back here very soon. Peace.